Now, if you've watched my live streams or my video installing Hyperbola, this is what you need to do next, which I'm sure you probably moved on from that video and worked it out yourself, but whatever. We're going to cover it. We're going to document this. So let's share the screen. Okay. Move that. So, okay, so if you remember, this was the wiki page of Hyperbola. So this was the installation guide, the reference installation guide. So if you scroll, if you are loading this up again, you want to scroll all the way down. You want to get to post installation. There we go. Now, if you haven't installed Hyperbola and you're looking at this thinking you want to be able to do all the post installation stuff, obviously just go back to that video if you want to see how to do it. But otherwise, obviously, you're not going to have anything to do on your system because you haven't got Hyperbola installed. So if you want to install Hyperbola, go back to that reference video and then maybe catch up this one after. But we're going to do it anyway. So so let me go into my. Here we go. So I'm doing it on a virtual machine. There will be some differences if you're installing on bare metal. Again, if you look at my previous video, there are certain things you need to do on the bare metal that you don't have to do on the virtual machine, but I sort of reference that. And that's mainly to do with networking and internet, because virtual machines usually do internet pass-through. So basically treats it like some sort of Ethernet that's already set up, usually. So you're probably going to want to look through that, but there's still a few networking things we're going to do on this. So, keep watching. Okay, so I've only got a root user set up at the moment. So I'm going to log in as root. So obviously I'd already set my root password in the previous video because that was the main installation, but I haven't actually got a user yet. So we'll probably set up a user as well. Okay, so post installation. Now you can set up Pacman and configure the options, enabling the repositories that you need. So we can just have a look at that. I'm not too fussed. I imagine it's most of it's set up, I imagine. So I'm going to use Vim. You can use Nano, whatever you've got. And then pacman.conf. Is there anything we need here? Okay, so we've got core and extra. So really, that's all you're going to need, I would say, with the repositories or the mirror list for the repositories to install the packages you need. I think there's a testing one probably somewhere, but I can't see it on here anyway. So we don't really need to do anything. You do you if you need to do anything on that. Okay. So as you're going to want to update the system. Now, I don't know if networking is actually working on this at the moment. Okay, I don't think networking is working because even though I've got pass-through for the virtual machine, on the actual installed system, you need to do a couple of things. So let's look at that. So let's scroll down. No, let's scroll up. So I might need to do some OpenRC stuff. So OpenRC is your there we go. OpenRC is your init system. So this really what's responsible for your services. So like networking, various other things, your audio and all this. So we're going to do some OpenRC, which is the init system for Hyperbola. The traditional init system now for Linux is, of course, systemd. This doesn't have systemd, so we're going to use OpenRC, which started off on Gen 2, I think. Anyway, it's pretty good. It's fine. It's not as fast as, say, run it, if you know the run it init system, but it is pretty good. And you don't get a choice, so this is what we're using. So one thing we need to do is we need to add the service for the DHCPCD. So DHCPCD is what assigns your like network address, I believe. Let's have a look. I never remember. Yeah, so so we're setting up the daemon, but DHCP is the dynamic host configuration protocol. A network protocol automatically assigns IP address. We need an IP address, otherwise we don't have an address to communicate and talk to. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Now, another thing you might have found, so if you've just installed Hyperbola and you're using Wi-Fi, if you followed my previous video, one of the things you needed to install was WPA, what's it called? WPA, let's have a look. Never remember the name. It's going to be here. So WPA supplicant. Okay, so WPA supplicant, if you're not on Ethernet, you would have needed to install that when you did the installation. I think I mentioned that. The reason being because it is your application to access the internet wirelessly. Now, if you're using a, let's say, Hyperbola with a non-free Wi-Fi card, it's not going to matter. The reason being because Hyperbola is, of course, free Libre distribution only, and if you don't have a Libre Wi-Fi card, it will not work. So you're gonna need to probably connect to using your Ethernet. Okay, but if you're not, you're gonna need to set up a configuration. Okay, so here's like a basic configuration. Okay. So you can do this, and that will basically cover all the stuff that you need. What you're probably gonna, if you want a very basic one, so you can use WPA passphrase, okay, and then you put in your my SSID, so that's the name of your network, okay. So if you've got a Wi-Fi network, then it's going to have a name, okay. So that's where you put your name, then your passphrase, so that's going to be your password for your Wi-Fi network, and then you're going to use the right angle bracket to direct that information into this example conf, okay. And that will only create a network section. But again, if you want some more, stuff, then do that. So here's an example, okay, of the passphrase situation. So that's your SSID, that's your name of your network, and then there's your passphrase, okay. Again, have a look through this. Maybe I'll put this in the description, but this is all from the Arch wiki. This is all relevant, but otherwise you're going to be want to be on the Ethernet. So I'm going to treat this like I'm on the Ethernet, but I've given you the information you need there. So just look up WPA supplicant on the Arch wiki, but remember you need a Libre Wi-Fi card if this is on bare metal. Okay, let's close that. See what's happening. 6 people. Wow. Okay. So I need for myself, if I go back into, let's just close this out. We've covered that. So we need to add our daemon to OpenRC. So this will start up. This will start up the device host communication protocol when you start your system. Now, on like Arch Linux, you don't need to worry about these things, but on Hyperbola you do. So this is one of the things you need to do. So we're going to use this command here, rc update add dhcpd default. So all this is doing. So we're going to do rc update. If I do, let's do rc status, okay? So if you look at rc status, these are the services that are running. As you can see, it's not really a lot going on here. So I've got key maps, which I set up on the install. So key maps means that it understands what my keyboard layout is, and that's again a service, okay? Then that's all under default. Default is like your user, let's say. So this is for the root user, I guess. And then you've got like more dynamic run levels and others, okay? So we're not going to worry too much about that. You know, the usual sort of system, sysfs, udev, rules, f, local map, whatever. Okay, so we're going to do rc update. Let's clear this, rc update. And I'm going to add, so we're adding a service, okay? And we're going to add DHC, hate these acronyms, DHCPCD, is that it? So DHC, no, DHC, PCD, okay. And then that's going under the default settings or the default, whatever it is for this user, okay? So hit enter. As you can see, you get a little output service added. Now, if I do RC status, it might not be running. So if you look here, it says stopped, okay? So it's added the service, and when you restart your computer, it will obviously start up. But because we've got the computer running already, we want to start this service. So what we want, so you can do RC service restart, I think, or start. Let's just try restart. RC, I don't think it matters. RC service, I've got to type this against DHCPCD restart. Okay, so if I do RC status now, there we go. As you can see, it says started. Now that doesn't mean we've got networking necessarily. So if I ping my website, oh no, we have. Okay, so I've got networking now, because the other thing you might need to do is if I go up here, and if I go back to, oh, no, if I go back to the setting up your like IP and all this, one of the things you might need to do is set up your IP link. So if I do IP link, as you can see, you've got your loopback device, which is like your own internal networking, so don't worry about that. And you've got, see here, Ethernet 0. Again, if you're using Wi-Fi, it might be WPL, whatever. So you might need to set that up. Okay, so once you've done your DCHP, you might need to do, got IW config there. That's probably not installed, but here we go. IP link sets, whatever. So for example, I do IP link set EF0 to up. Okay, now you do what you need to. Don't do the loopback because that's no point. And then if you need to add your IP address, submask, all this kind of stuff, there's an example, do that. And then there's some more things here. So again, that should sort you out for your networking. But again, just follow the wiki. Go on hyperbola.info and go through that if it's not still working for you. But we're going to move on because it's working for me. Okay. Let's clear that. Let's ping my website again, just make sure. Yeah. Okay, great. So we're going to do some really more OpenRC stuff here, because there's various services you should set up. Probably should set up a username as well. Let's go down to post installation again. Okay, so we're going to do pacman-syu. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to install doas now. So doas is your super permissions for your user. So if you're not root user and you're your normal user, let's say, you want to use doas to give you your super user permissions, or to give your user root permissions. So they don't use sudo because Hyperbola is very much about, you know, extreme, very minimalistic in its programming and programs. And with doas, it's a lot lighter than sudo. Sudo's really got a lot of things you perhaps don't need as a desktop user. Okay, so I'm going to do pacman-syu. Well, I don't need to do, I've already updated. So just make sure you've already updated. You could just do it like this. So do pacman-syu and then put doas at the end. And then open doas. Okay. Now with doas, you do need to configure it, but right now I just want to install it. Okay. So to add the members of the wheel group to run the commands, use the file etc. doas. So for example, if I went to etc. doas, as you can see here, permit. You need to add people to the wheel group, and then they can do what they need to. Okay. And then they can do all kinds of things here. And you can do it without a password even. Okay. So let's leave that for a minute. So I'd advise you to install that because we're going to probably need that. So here we go. We're going to add a user now. Okay. So add user groups and privileges. Okay. So do user add. Never remember this stuff. User add -g. And of course, you can do the cliches. AG. No, I don't remember. I'm not going to go into that. If you're following the Arch wiki, that's kind of a different way of doing it, but we're not going to do it. We're going to do the proper way. So users. So this is going to be under the. So we're going to add to the users group. -m -s. So there's all these flags. You can look under user add to see what these flags do. Bin, bash. And then the username, let's just call this, why not? Let's call this James C. Okay. So you get no output. So if I do users, does that show root? Don't know. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a minute. So let's add some users to the different groups. So this is necessary, particularly on Hyperbola. Hyperbola does a lot of separating of permissions and control of permissions. So you kind of need to do this. It's a bit time consuming, but we're just going to do it. Again, it says consider, but we're going to do this. Okay, so we're going to do user mod. Nope. User mod dash a capital G video, and then James C. So no output. I just can't remember users. I can't remember the user. Users. I just can't remember what it is for seeing all the different users. Print the name of user currently logged in. I don't know why I don't remember these things. What's the one that shows you all the users? And user add. I never remember. I never remember how to see all the users. User group. Is it user group? Don't know. Don't know. See what people are saying. Make Linux-related informative videos. Previously, what you used to make. Oh, thought I was. Thought I was. Well, I cover quite a lot of stuff, like the stuff that's necessary to set you up to get your system going and then you to make what you want of it. I guess I'm kind of going back to that. Anyway, this is obviously that. Covering OpenDoas and covering all these post-installation stuff. But anyway, right. So I've added the user video, user mod. Let's do audio. So I'm going to up arrow. Oh. Add audio. Oh. Next one. Sys. Oh man, I need to set up my what is it? My read line with Vim bindings. Storage. Optical. Again, a lot of these you're probably not going to use or need, I guess, but I'm doing it anyway. Power, probably one you do need. Network. Input. Make sure you spell input correctly. Okay, that's how you spell it. Okay, now we want to add them to the wheel group, because if you remember with doas, we want to give our user the permissions to run root commands or super user commands, if you like. So let's add them to the wheel group. Okay, you can add them to the games. Again, we don't need to. We don't play games on this channel. Right, let's have a look at... I should add a password to... should add a password to my user. I think the syntax is just pass wd. I think you can just pass wd the user and then it will add it. I don't know. So let's clear this. You pass wd. Oh, James C. Okay. Okay, password changed. So if I do exit and then I do C, there we go. Now I've got my new user. Let's do RC status, see what we've got here. So the usual stuff. So let's see. So I've done the doas. Let's see if I can get into the doas.conf under my user. So let's do doas vim etc doas.conf. So now it's asking me for my password. There we go. So doas is working there. Now again, if you want to change this so you don't want a password or whatever, play around with that. That's fine with me at the minute. So we've done that. So I guess we should do some more service management. Then I'm going to install a graphical environment. Now, interestingly, I usually use things like i3. I usually use things such as GNU Screen, but what I'm going to do this time, because of curiosity, and on my bare metal Hyperbola, I don't have the Lumina desktop installed, which is sort of there. It's not literally Hyperbola's desktop environment, but it's sort of one they kind of are recommending. So I'm going to have a little look at the Lumina desktop environment. I know that I wouldn't probably use it, but I'm just curious about the desktop environment, because I've done videos on i3 and all this kind of thing, which you can see. You can install i3, whatever you want to do. I've got so many videos on that. There's no different to Hyperbola, to Arch, to most systems. So we're going to install the Lumina desktop environment out of curiosity. So first of all, before we do that though, we're going to do some more service management stuff possibly. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we've done the groups, okay? Done the groups. So you've got some more stuff here. Network, video, audio. Now there are more specific things we need to do. So services often required. Now it depends. If you've got like crypt setup, you can do all this. I'm going to do, and you've got cron jobs here if you need to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add ALSA. What you need to install is ALSA utils as well. So if I do pacman dash capital S, small s, this is searching. Let's do ALSA. So you've got ALSA lib, which isn't installed. Got ALSA utils. So if I install ALSA utils, I assume that's going to install ALSA lib. Okay, let's install ALSA utils. Okay. Oh, make sure you do that. And obviously, as I'm my user, I need to do as. Okay, let's see what happens. So obviously it's saying you need to add your service. So I'm just going to check what's installed now. Okay. Is it say installed? So interesting, it hasn't installed ALSA lib. I think you need ALSA lib. I'm going to install ALSA lib. Okay, so dash. So again, we need to do as pacman, and I'm just going to do dash capital S, and I'm going to do ALSA dash lib, and I'm going to do ALSA SNDIO. It's another thing you need. So SNDIO is needed because it's sort of a what do you call it? It's sort of a daemon that controls the audio on your system, sort of a layer in between ALSA and the hardware. And this is used by things such as BSDs. So this is a way that BSD manages the sound. I think this might be partly for security and whatever, but it's let's say it means that your sound system's a bit more complicated than even Arch to set up. So you're going to need SNDIO. Okay, so I'm going to install both. You might not be able to see that exactly there, but you'll be able to see it now. So let's install those. Okay, so they're both installed. Now, I think the SNDIO you've got to add to the OpenRC and obviously ALSA, ALSA, whatever. Now, I don't know if I've got ALSA Mixer. Let's do ALSA Mixer. Yeah, I've got ALSA Mixer. The only thing I'd say, where I've got my virtual machine audio, strange thing with audio on virtual machines, it's a bit more weird, but don't worry, these things, if you're doing bare metal, just do the same stuff because it will work out. This is what I did on my bare metal. Okay, so we're going to add ALSA sound to the default. I'm just going to look at what ALSA stuff there is again. Let's see if there is anything interesting. I don't think there's anything else. So with Hyperbola, you don't have pulse audio, you don't have pipe wire. So just be aware of that. So yeah, so do RC service. Just clear this. Let's clear this. So we want to do we want to do RC update, add ALSA sound. RC update, add ALSA sound, all one word, and then default. Command not found. Oh yeah, I need to do as bang bang. There we go. So if you do as exclamation mark like sudo, if you know it's the cliche Linux thing, it just means run the last command. So do as run the last command. Okay. So if I do RC status now, do RC status, RC service, ALSA sound, restart. Don't know. Does that matter? Seems a bit odd. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a bit. So key maps should already be done. So now key maps restart. Right, do ALSA sound. Oh yeah, do as. Would it help if I do as? There we go. Right. So if I do ALSA mixer now, there you go. Unmute your card. Do what you need to. ALSA mixer's got, if you hit escape, exits it. If you do F1, that gives you a help. It's pretty simple. Okay. So if I do RC status now, I've got ALSA sound. Again, the only thing you might need to do is set up SNDIO, which we'll look at in a minute. You can do a login manager if you want. I'm not interested in that. Some more stuff here. So again, if you need to add services, you can delete services. You can see all the services currently running with that -all-v. Start, stop, reservice, restart, whatever. Troubleshooting. So if you've got some more stuff you need to look at. There we go. That's pretty much OpenRC is pretty simple, no more complicated really than systemd. Okay, so I'm just thinking, let's see, if I do OpenRC SNDIO, so maybe I should do, I'm going to suggest doing that. So let's do RC update, add oh yeah, here we go. SNDIOD, because it's a daemon. So you've got the SNDIO and it's got its own daemon, and then default. Remember to do as, bang, bang. SNDIOD does not exist. Oh, okay. Let's do pacman-s, capital S, small s, SNDIO. Oh yeah, that's another thing. So I haven't actually got SNDIO installed there. Is that right? Okay. Do as pacman-sndio. I thought I had it installed. Or I assumed it was installed. Oh, what am I doing? I only want one capital S. Let's clear that. Okay. Okay, now let's try that again. Okay. Then I'm going to do RC, was it update, SNDID, restart. No, I can't remember. Can I remember? Start service, isn't it? So do as RC service SNDID restart. Okay, so if I do RC status, there we go. Now, one thing you also will probably need is, let's clear this. So if I do again, so you're going to want something like all-cat CTL. So this is control SNDIOD. The reason being because SNDIOD controls your channels of your audio. And AUCAT-CTL or all-cat control gives you a way to control the channels of your audio. So like services. So say, for example, using your web browser, it needs an audio channel, basically. Say you're using MPV, it needs an audio channel. You need really something like AUCAT-CTL to control these channels. And we'll probably go into that another time, like little extra things, but we're just going to install it now. Don't worry too much about it right now. So I'm going to do as pacman-capital S, and I'm going to do AUCAT-CTL and install that. Okay. If you want to look at AUCAT-CTL, how it works, do the man page. So as you can see, it's got examples about the audio devices, and you can set the audio of your devices. So for example, if I do AUCAT-CTL, it's just got the master volume. But say I was using MPV, it will show you, for example, as it does, if you look down examples, it's got master, it's got M player and whatever. So if you're running services with multiple volumes, this is a way you can use to control it. So if you look here, you could do all cat CTL, could set master volume to 85, and then M player, for example, which might be M player 0 to 100. Hit enter. Okay, and then obviously I haven't got M player installed or anything or running, and then I guess it would show up in your Alsa mixer, maybe not. But that's kind of how you do it. Maybe we'll cover that in another way, another time. But that should work for you. So I guess that's really it for OpenRC. That sort of covers audio. I think it's probably best. We will install now like a graphical environment. So you've got the Lumina desktop here. So again, you might want to have i3, which I use on my bare metal. but I'm going to try Lumina Desktop. Okay. So, okay, here's the instructions for installing Lumina Desktop. It gives you some things about it. It's free of dbus, whatever. It's designed to have as few system dependencies and requirements. So again, this is a sort of philosophy of Hyperbola. Okay, so let's install it. So we want Lumina and Lumina Extra. So we do as pacman dash capital S, and then we want Lumina and Lumina Extra dash extra. Let's have a look at that again. I think that's right. Hit enter. Whatever, that's fine. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. Whatever, just hit enter. I don't think any of that matters. You need like specific repositories or whatever, you do what you need to do, hit enter. So that's going to start downloading that and installing that. So it's 182 megs, so it might take a minute or two. Let's have a look, see what people are saying. By the way, awesome work, man. Thanks a lot. Hello, nerds. Hey, Ahmed, you all right? You come to finish your Hyperbola install with the post installation? Oh yeah, how was your holiday in Alexandria? It's interesting. Now I know Hyperbola make a big thing about the Lumina desktop being lightweight and all this, few dependencies. It's still 182 megabytes. Just put that in perspective. 182 megabytes. What's i3? It's like 5 megabytes thing. I don't know. All this Qt5 stuff. I know obviously if you've got programs that rely on Qt or what's the other one? Got Qt and I don't even know. This is how out the loop with desktop environments. I can't remember the other one. I want to say QuickTime. That's like Apple. That's like the old day Apple stuff for video. Oh yeah, it was great. Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay, so how are we doing? Well, it's still in downloading. Well, there's a lot of stuff here. And again, I don't think got like parallel downloads. You know, like you can Pacman automatically sets like parallel downloads now in your Pacman conf, I think, for Arch Linux anyway. Yeah, oh, it's downloaded. Okay, it's installing it now. Probably made a big mistake with this Lumina desktop, but I want to see what it's like. Installing lots of stuff. Qt. Installing Python. GTK, that was what I was thinking. GTK. Qt and GTK. Wow. FFmpeg. What's in this desktop environment? Lots of stuff, I'm guessing. Okay, so where were we? Where were we? Okay. some stuff about Lumina. Do note that Lumina, just like any other window manager, needs windowing server protocol to connect to in order to be a runnable solution. On Hyperbola, the solution is not X11, but Xenokara. And so if that was not already installed, let's do it now. Yeah, so with Hyperbola, they use Xenokara, which is what OpenBSD does, and I guess other BSDs. My understanding with Xenokara, it's a sort of more locked down X11. So there's arguments that X11 has issues security-wise. I mean, maybe, but this is what they use. Xenokara is fine. I use it obviously on my Hyperbola, on my bare metal install, and it's fine, no problems with it. I've used it on OpenBSD when I did my OpenBSD videos and testing. So let's install that. So I'm going to clear this. So do as pacman -capital S and then Xenokara. Man, where do they come up with these names? It's like not a normal word, really, is it? I don't know. Anyway, let's hit enter. My password. Just hit enter, unless you've got like specific things. Oh, it looks like it is it installed already? No, I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to install that. Certain packages are reinstalling, I think. Don't know. Whatever. Font Adobe. I don't want any Adobe stuff in this. Hang on a minute. I thought this was all free and open source software or Libre software. I guess this Adobe thing isn't what we normally think of Adobe. Wow. Okay. Come on. God, this is why you do window managers. All this stuff. I don't know. Okay, so for best performance with your graphics hardware, make sure you have installed the package corresponding to your video card according to the table in the driver installation section in the above article. Now, I don't know about you, I'm not really getting the vibe with Libre software that there's support for your video card, but I'm sure there's video cards that have, you know, completely Libre, whatever. So if you want your oh, you got is maybe I should have installed that first, but I'm guessing it covers all that. Anyway, do we need to install Xenokara server? I'm thinking that's already installed. Let's check. I don't want to leave anything unturned. Okay, so let's do as pacman -capital S Xenokara -server. Probably installed already. No, so we don't need to install it. It's already installed. So we want to see identify the graphics card. So you're going to run this, okay? And then list an appropriate driver. You can search the package database for a complete list of drivers. So you've got Xenokara video. Okay. I think I did this on my bare metal computer. I think it was just the Intel one because obviously I'm just using a ThinkPad with whatever Intel soldered on graphics card or whatever you want to call it. Is it GMA? Whatever. So, but we will do this. So what is it? LS CPI? LS PCI, sorry. PCI. Pipe it into grep-e for like, what's that, extended regex? Or I don't know. Don't know why you need that. Anyway, whatever, I can't remember. VGA-E 3D. Red Hat, whatever. Power virtual graphics card. So obviously you got to remember that I'm using a virtual machine. This is not bare metal. Obviously, if you're using bare metal, you need to pay attention to what it is. So if it says Intel, it's probably going to be an Intel card. If it's NVIDIA, whatever. I don't think it's going to be NVIDIA on a Libre distribution, but and then we can run this here. So you can do pacman -capital S. Now, obviously, you don't need to do as because you're just searching, you're not installing. Then do Zenokara dash video. And then we put in the 2 ampersands because we're then going to search for Pacman dash capital S small lowercase s xorg video. Okay. So this is where, so you could put this into less, I guess. I can't see. Clear that. So you could, if you're not in a scrollable terminal, because I'm in the, because there's no frame buffer, there's no like buffer, scrollable buffer. Thanks, Linus Torvalds, in the Linux console and the TTY. We just pipe this into less. Okay, and then just use your J and K or up and down keys to see. So you've got all kinds of stuff here. So you've got the Zenokara Video ATI. There's lots of stuff here. So just look for what you need. So you've got, what's that? NVIDIA. You've even got a frame buffer video driver. I guess there's Intel on here as well. There you go. You've got Zenokara Video Intel. So if you're using like an old ThinkPad or whatever, it's probably got an Intel one. Now I'm on a virtual machine. I guess, should I install the Intel driver? I guess I should. So what was it actually search for? Zenokara Video and xorg video. If I just do Zenokara Video, this gives me the same. So why is it doing X? This is what makes me laugh. So it's using, oh, I see, it's got xorg video at the bottom, but it's the Zenokara video driver. So it's basically, I think it's just searching the same stuff, because I was thinking with Zenokara, it's not xorg, but it's, you know, forked off xorg, whatever. So for example, I would have the, was it the Intel driver? So if you're using an old ThinkPad, you're probably going to want Zenokara Video Intel, is it? So you do as Pacman dash capital S Zenokara Video Intel, is it? I think that was it. Might have got this wrong. Yeah, that's what we want. So I'm just going to install that. I might not need it on my virtual machine, but whatever. So I've installed that. So here you go. You've got, yeah, you've got Nuvo as well. If you've got like open source drivers for your whatever. And they've got some information here, issues. I'm guessing you're going to have issues being a Libre distribution. So they're not going to be supporting Vulkan if you want to play Steam games or whatever, I don't know. And there's other drive, whatever. Now, we're probably, yeah, we're going to want Zenokara X in it, which I think might have been installed already. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because this is not like installing i3 and we've installed Lumina Desktop, I'm going to go back to the Lumina Desktop. If I can find it. Where's my Lumina Desktop? Oh, here we go. So we're going to go through the Lumina Desktop instructions in this regard. Okay. So configuration file for Lumina Desktop. Most users will need to give themselves access rights to get the working sound, video acceleration. Don't miss out. So again, if you haven't done that, go back to OpenRC, like I covered earlier, to get all your sound and that working, including all that SNDIO stuff. You know, just look back over my video. For some specific setups, such as like trackpads. Okay, so you've got this configuration file for like trackpads and whatever. I've kind of done videos on this before, but I'm not going to worry about that now. If you need like specific configurations for your, like, I don't know, here you go, 2-finger scroll and all this kind of stuff, go ahead, do what you want. I'm not fussed. So Lumina provides its own replacement command for Start X to be started from the console. So this is what you need to do. And you can add it to the Xinit RC. Again, I presume Xinit is installed. So let's do pacman dash capital SS Xinit. Yeah, so installed Zenokara Xinit. We need that, obviously. Well, in that case, so again, I'm more of a Start X kind of guy. So this is again like the equivalent of Start X, this desktop environment. But you can, if you want to, you can have your X resources file, and you can have your xrdb merge home X resources and then start. So this is really when you start up your computer, instead of just staying in a TTY before you do start Lumina Desktop or Start X or whatever it is, this will automatically start up your Lumina Desktop. Okay, so just follow these instructions here. Here's an article about it. I've done videos on this kind of stuff before. I'm not going to do it on this one because this is the way I do things. Because I'm a TTY kind of guy myself, as you know, TTY. I like the TTY. But let's do start Lumina. Is it Lumina desktop? See what happens. Wow, I actually got sound on that. Did you hear that? So my sound actually works, interestingly, on this, because I always had that issue for whatever reason on my virtual machine for Arch Linux. For some reason I never got sound pass through, but I got sound on there. So I don't know what this is. Lumina just RSS, whatever. So let's have a look at applications. So you've got text editor. Let's see if we can do the screen. Lumina screen configuration. So I'm going to do, I can't remember my screen rate, 1280 by 1280 by 800, I think. Apply. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, save that. Okay, close. As you can see, I've got nice anti-aliasing going on here. It looks kind of interesting. I don't know. It looks kind of interesting, this Lumina desktop. I kind of like it, actually. I know it sounds all kinds of wrong. I don't like desktop environments, but I don't know. I guess I like the minimal. I don't know. Actually, I think I'm just, I don't know. There's a certain look to it, which I guess I kind of like, but it does look kind of rough around the edges. I don't know. What about preferences? Okay, so you've got workspaces, workspace 2, configure desktop. Okay, so we've got appearance, theme, activate items, and enable GUI effects. Wow, don't know if I want that. That's dangerous. GUI effects. Okay then. Let's have a menu effect. As animate. You know this goes against all my principles, but hey, I don't care. Dialog buttons have icons. Yeah. Toolbar. Okay, let's apply that. Fonts. General. Okay, dark scheme, whatever, that's fine. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Fusion, Windows, Fusion. Yeah, stick that. Effects, we've done that. Fonts, I don't know, not fast. Icons, wanted that dark, cursors, whatever. General styles, so you got tray notification, tool tip. Do I want the tool tip? Do I want scroll bar, simple, whatever? Desktop styles, dark glass, available, icons. Enable, enable, enable. I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't know. Don't know. Wallpaper. I kind of like the wallpaper. Don't know. Are there any others? Can't see any. Window effects. Disable compositing manager. Session start required. So compositing manager. I think this is again where it's like if you get screen tearing. So I guess if you don't want screen tearing, disable that. I guess. Window manager. Number of workspaces. So I don't know. Maybe you want 8 workspaces or 9 workspaces. Advanced editor. Oh, okay. So you can like put in values here. So you could play around with that, or just stick with a simple one. Window placement, align in a row, whatever, focus policy, whatever. Window theme, arch. Fine. Back to settings. Let's make this big screen again. Applications. Okay, so this is where I guess you can set your default applications. Now I don't know what web browser installed. You've got the, was it IceCat? Ice, whatever. Doesn't look like that's installed. It's got the Insight File Manager. Got no virtual terminals. So you can set all your specifics here, file types, fonts, for your defaults, I guess. I'm not fussed. I keep making it small. So you can auto start stuff if you want to. You've got keyboards. So again, you might be able to, because on key maps doesn't work on your, I think I'm right in thinking. So if you in like X11 or Zenokara, you need to set your XRDB, so XRDB, set your key maps in that. But I don't know if this is actually in relation, I don't know if it's got any of that in here. Might need to do that separately. I've done videos on this before. You could just do the same, open up, I don't know, your X in it and just set XRDB, whatever your keyboard is. I've done videos on that. Interface configuration, desktop. Oh, okay, so you've got a little RSS reader which you can add. Okay, that's nice, I guess. Menu. So again, you can have, I don't know, stuff in the menu. So you can, oh yeah, when you click on there, what's like showing. You've got panels. So again, you can configure that. I've done the screen. Theme engine. Yeah, we looked at that. Oh, and it's crashed. Crashed. Oh no. Where's my settings? It's crashed. What's my preferences? Figure desktop, that's what I want. General options. Enable non-lock on startup. Exciting. Play chimes on exit. Play chimes on startup. Application crash data. I might need to look at that because it's just crashed. Disable start quote. localization. Ah, here you go. So I guess this my system localization. Nothing. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd prefer this over other desktop environments, but it's not really my thing. I guess it just looks kind of nice. It's got that. If you ever look at the trip code videos, he's got that weird sort of like grainy background effect. I kind of like that. It always sort of looks like that. I don't know. So I don't even know I've got a terminal in here, have I? How do I get a terminal up? Internet radio, text editor, media player. Okay, so you get some. So you even got the text editor. So I guess if you want to use the Lumina text editor, got that. How can I see all the applications? Show categories. I guess this is everything. Community support. Browse files to see what it looks like. Okay, so again, just got a basic file browser here. How can I bring up a terminal? Okay, so desktop information. Let's see what that says. 2019. Got the website there. What happens if I click that? There's no web browser. That's a bit of a problem. You got an archiver, an insight file manager. Was that what I was looking at? Yeah, the insight. File information, image viewer, media player. So you got a media player as well. Login. What is this? I don't even know what that's about. You can screenshot. You've got search, text editor, theme engine, internet radio, screensaver, video capture, test utility. Okay. There's not really a lot on here. So it didn't like pre-install your web browser. There's not even a terminal from the look of it. Okay, let's leave. Let's log out. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll go back into that in a minute. Let's install the cliches, right? You want a web browser. So Hyperbola doesn't have too many web browsers. Again, you've got to understand the situation you're in here. So you're using Libre software, okay? And the web is hostile to Libre software. Let's put it like that. So you're going to have like your usual text-based ones, like links, e-links, and all this kind of stuff. Now, if you want a graphical user interface web browser, which you're probably going to want to, with some JavaScript support, some use on the internet, really, there is one that they are phasing out, which I'm not sure they've even got it on here now. Yeah, I think they might have removed it from the repositories. Have they removed it from the repositories? What bad wolf? Hello. Okay. So in their news, they started to remove Ice Weasel. So if I put Weasel, it might not show up here. The reason being, these are for the new version of Hyperbola that I don't think has been released yet. So if I go into downloads, yes, we're still on 4.4. It's the Milky Way edition. So if I go into if I do Pacman dash capital S lowercase s and put in Ice Weasel, should still show up. Yeah. So you can still install Ice Weasel. So I think it's called UXP. So I'm going to do let's clear this. Do as Pacman dash capital S a lowercase s Ice Weasel dash UXP. I think that's what it's called. Put my password. Oh, why has it done that? Forgot to take out the lowercase s. There we go. Right, install that. So I'm hoping on Lumina desktop that's now showing up. See what people are saying. I have a question for you. How is ad blocking on your browser? The last time I used Chromium-based browser, it was really bad. So I know obviously I'm using for my streams the Chrome browser. And the reason I'm doing that is only because I assume it's going to work best with my webcam capture and streams and whatever, and it's going to work nice with YouTube. I'm sure it's fine with Firefox, but I just use it as default on my testing laptop. However, from the look of it, the what's it called? uBlock Origin Lite seems to work reasonably okay. My wife uses it on her laptop, which uses Windows, and it seems to be fine. But I mean, it seems to be okay. It's not what I prefer, but it seems to be okay. I would say just test how you go with it, if it's acceptable or not. But yeah, uBlock Origin Lite seems to be okay, actually. I was kind of surprised myself because they made a big thing about its functionality being less, but I haven't had any issues with it. But it depends. I guess it will depend on what services, websites you're using. You know how this goes against all my principle. I don't care. Yeah, I know. I'm a huge hypocrite. I guess when I'm just testing stuff, it doesn't matter. None of this matters anyway. None of this matters. In my opinion, the best desktop environments are XFC and Mate. I would agree, actually. I used to use XFC on my Lubuntu install. I think it was XFC or was it LXDE? It might have been something like that. But yeah, XFC is pretty good. And Mate, yeah, Mate is pretty good. Again, it's sort of Windows-like, or is that Cinnamon? Maybe both. But yeah, it's all fine. 5 people. Okay, let's see where we are. Okay, that's installed. What is it? I can't remember how to start Lumina desktop now. Let's do Control R, is it? Lumina. Start Lumina desktop. There we go. Oh, it didn't save my resolution. What's going on? Oh, well, at least we got Ice Weasel installed. I can't be bothered to change the resolution. Well, that started pretty quick. Okay, so here you go. Here's Ice Weasel. Now with Ice Weasel, if you go into add-ons, this is where you can get your add-ons. Okay, or extensions. I'm going to show things, plugins, get add-ons. Why is it not showing? Sorry, you don't have enough rights to continue. I don't really understand that. I don't know why I don't have enough rights. Permission denied. Why is that? It's a bit weird. That's a bit odd. Ice Weasel UXP add-ons. Sorry, you don't have enough permissions. Oh, I hate all this stuff. Ice Weasel UXP. Sorry, you don't have permission. Browser data network configuration Windows. Okay. Clear data. This is AI, I'm guessing, so I don't know. Do we trust AI? No. Let's see. Let's go to settings. Why don't you come up with add-ons? I don't know. Preferences. Isn't even the settings? You know AI is lying to you already. Applications. Advanced. I don't really know any of this is relevant. Content. Applications. Advanced. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. I just wonder if because they're starting to remove Iceweasel, that they've removed the add-on, so maybe that's why. I don't actually know, you know. Maybe I'll have to come back to that in another video. So if you want to install add-ons and you have this issue, I'm not sure. So here's the thing you need to know about Hyperbola. Hyperbola are removing Iceweasel from their next version of Hyperbola. Reason being that it's difficult for them to maintain and the way the web is going. So they're not really going to be too many graphical user interface web browsers with Hyperbola, which I can see being a problem, but it does sort of highlight the world we're in. I've got a feeling I need to do a video on basically accepting that if you do go down the route of a text-only web browser as your default, what websites would you want to use? Where here's the problem. It depends for your personal computer use, how you use the internet, and you're probably going to want JavaScript. So I don't know, maybe if you install Iceweasel UXP, you can just roll with it, even though it's starting to go out of date. But this the thing with Libre software, your hands are sort of tied by the environment you're in. You know, if the situation with the web, if the situation with non-free software is what it is, this is a case where you do have to stand up for your principles if you've got principles on this. I don't know. It's not an easy one. It's not an easy one. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of Lumina desktop. So I guess I should really install Xterm. Let's install Xterm. Log out. So again, I don't know. I'm not sure what the terminals they've got are. I think Xterm's what I want. Let's do terminals. Oh, yes, another thing you might need to install, like TTF fonts, is it? So is it TTF fonts, TTF? TTF. Fonts. Can't remember. TTF Deja Vu. Wiki. Let's go to forums actually and search. Let's search fonts. TTF something. Because I think if you use things like Xterm, because you install Deja Vu. Anyway, I'm going to install. I'm going to go do as pacman -s capital S. Let's install Xterm. And let's see what Xterm looks like. It might be a bit janky. So I'm going to do Lumina, Lumina, Star. Can't remember what it is. Start, Lumina. What was the loop? Start, is it Lumina? There we go. I'm going to start up at Xterm, see what that looks like. Xterm. Now, the thing with Xterm, if you want to set it up with the black and all this, again, look at my previous videos on this. What have I got here? Test.txt. Yeah, I don't know really. Look at my previous videos on this. Obviously, I wouldn't have my Xterm looking at like this, but because I've done videos on this before, I don't want to have to keep on repeating this kind of stuff. But if you want to like change the background, change, you know, all the kind of stuff, look at my previous videos. You'll be able to find it. Like my previous install videos, that kind of thing on Arch Linux, OpenBSD. It's all basically the kind of same stuff because I always use Xterm anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I pkill Lumina, TTF Deja Vu, is it? TTF Deja Vu. I think that's right. I've got a feeling it's Liberation. Liberation. I never remember the font again because I don't really care. As long as you get all like the Unicode stuff, I guess. Liberation? No. TTF Liberation. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Just install them all really. So let's do as pacman -S TTF Liberation. Is that how you? I can't remember now. Yeah, and then was it TTF Deja Vu? I don't know. Try that. Let's just install those fonts. So there you go. You got some fonts. I don't know if it's going to make any difference to this. Oh, there you go. Font's looking a bit better now. Look at that, all smooth and nice. So if I do Xterm just looks like Xterm as per usual. But again, you can set all the fonts. Look at what I've done in the past. Hey, that looks even better now, doesn't it? Get rid of all that. I don't want that. Hey, it looks all right now. Looks all right. It's nice fonts. There you go. Oh, it looks nice, doesn't it? There we go. So, am I thinking that's all we want to do for now? Is there anything else we really want to cover? Interesting stuff in the forums. You want to password your grub, all this kind of stuff. See what people are saying. Just gonna have a quick look. I don't think there is really anything else at the minute. I even got sound working in Hyperbola on a virtual machine, so that's kind of a result. I can't even get it working on Arch on my thing, but that's probably me. Okay. Anything else on the Liberation on the Lumina desktop? There's some stuff there. Don't need to do any more on that. Troubleshooting. I mean, we've got a web browser. It's not working properly. Well, it is working properly, but one last thing I might look at, is it Bad Wolf? Bad Wolf. Let's do Xterm. Let's do do as Pacman -S Bad Wolf. Password. I don't know what Bad Wolf is like. It seems like it's quite a... I think they were sort of saying use Dillo, but I don't think Dillo is like a... I don't know. I don't think Dillo is like a... don't think it's got JavaScript enabled. I might be wrong. Am I going to regret this? It seems a lot of stuff to install these web browsers. I've got the impression Bad Wolf doesn't have Bad Wolf. Let's go back on the browser. Dillo. So these are graphical web browsers, but I don't know that they've got JavaScript. Does it have Java? JavaScript off by default, so you can enable JavaScript. I don't know how well maintained this is. and then Dillo. So JavaScript. Okay, I don't think Dillo has JavaScript. So we'll try Bad Wolf. Because I feel a bit bad. I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to miss out. Let's do Bad Wolf. Okay. Interesting. So where, new tab. C.co.uk. Does it work? Okay, so it's loading up that. Does video work? I don't know. Let's go back. It's a live feed, so that's not video. Video. Where can I get some video around here? Here we go. Video. No video. Okay, so I'm going to want, what's this? Downloads. How do I get settings? Print. How have I got? Why have I not got settings? Oh, what's this? JS. Oh, does that turn on JS? JavaScript. Interesting. Oh, here we go. Does that turn it on? So I refresh. Okay. I see. So that's turning on JavaScript. Whether JavaScript on this is updated enough. Oh, okay. So you need codecs. Okay. We know JavaScript is technically installed. Where it will work with all your different things, I don't know. But hey, you've got JavaScript. So if you install the latest version of Hyperbola when it comes out, and you're wondering why you can't get Iceweasel, you've got Bad Wolf. Okay, so you've still got Bad Wolf for your JavaScript needs. Felt that was important. I'm not going to exit properly. Let's do it that way. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that covers enough.